Okay, we had this little locomotive from BLI dropped off maybe 2-3 days ago. I've been busy, it's been sitting in the box, but here we are. This is Southern Pacific 442 Atlantic. It's I know it's the wrong boiler for the actual Atlantic that Southern Pacific used. I think all BLI did was take the PRR version and throw on a daylight paint job. I have a precision brass model of the actual Atlantic. It's quite a bit different than this, but this is more of a fantasy, I guess, type locomotive, but it's okay with me. I mean, I'm not that picky. It looks good, and I'm a fan of BLI, so, you know, gonna try to support them. This one is Paragon 4 with Rolling Thunder and Synchronized Chuffing Smoke, I believe. This is fresh out of the box. All I did was change the address to 3002. So let's go through a startup sequence here and see what we got. So it looks like startup is still F9. Looks like we have a cab light and a figure. Sounds like the typical, creating a shadow on the model, sorry. Sounds like the typical BLI startup. Got some lights. Headlight, which also illuminates a number board on the side of the light. We have some marker lights on the front. Looks like they have the same marker lights on the rear. Looking good. Okay, let's see what we have. F1. Bell. And F2 whistle. Not bad, not bad. Need something to hold my camera here while I'm doing this. What do we have? Coupler sounds F3. Probably need to be moving for that. Air pumps F4. I hardly ever use any of these options. You know, I'm like a whistle, a bell, an occasional blow down or chuff, and air pump, but you know, so many options. Anyway, there's the air pump. Blow down. How about water fill? Sounds like it's filling up. F7 smoke on off. F8 master volume control. F9 is the startup. We already did that. F10 injector. F11 water injector. I'm sorry. F10 was oil injector. There's brake set, crossing grade signal. Station sounds, and you've got all your various chatters, yard chatter, maintenance chatter, road check, crew. Then you have your industrial and your lumber mill sounds. You can toggle the whistle to your secondary whistle. Front and rear markers you can turn on or off with F24. F25 is the long whistle. And of course you can record and play back macros. And F28 is the brake squeal. We're not going to go through all those. So let's see if we can move forward here with speed step 1 of 128. Not bad. Back up. Speed step 1, speed step 2, speed step 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, let's go for speed step 1 of just 28 instead of 128. Obviously it's going to take off a little faster now, but it's a bigger percentage of the overall speed step. Nice puff. 2, 3. Alright. Speed step 1 of 28 in reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's move around behind it and see if there's a light on the back of the tender. I don't know that there is. Move it forward here. I think it has the same light scenario as the consolidations. There's no... Oh wait, there is a light up top. Look at that little guy. Off. So we have a full lighting scheme here. Not bad, not bad. Well, let's do a shutdown and go put her on the layout, see what happens. Okay, before we put it on the layout, let's look at some details. Got some air hoses there, and as we saw when we first started it up, the headlight is also the running boards on the side. It has marker lights on the front pilot. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have all the rivet detail and the handrails. There's all the side rods. They're done in like a darker chrome, which looks good. I kind of wish those front pilot wheels were blacked out, or even spokes. I'm not sure if the actual one had spokes, but the spokes look better than the solid wheels. My opinion, of course. Up top here we have dynamo right there in front of the smokestack. Got a bell. Got the various domes for sand. Boiler, and we got a whistle. Got blow-off valves there, I believe, for pressure relief. Got that PRR hump in the boiler there. Seems to be a signature thing with some of their locomotives. We've got crew members. I believe this works. Let's see. Oh yeah, the hatch on top slides back and forth. The windows probably move too, but every time I touch one of those windows, I tend to knock it right out of the frame, so I'm not touching it. I looked earlier for cab details in there. There's nothing. It's just painted black. Let's see, we have obviously the Southern Pacific daylight paint scheme going on here. Looks like we have some curtains. Let's back out so we can get some focus. There we go. And some hose or some line detail there. I don't know what that is. Looks like a hose coming down from up top. That's Also a curtain across the top, look at that. And we got the coal load, which looks really good. Rivet detail. Marker lights. We even have conduit running up to the marker lights. That's pretty cool. And the rear light that I discovered when I hit reverse. Air hoses, cut levers. This side seems to be more of the same. Looks like we have the compressor right there. Same black chrome side rods, they look good. And the number plate on the front, 3002. All right, let's put her on the scale, see what she weighs. Looks like we're getting 1.175 pounds. Or 18.8 ounces. $533 milliliters? 533 grams. And back to 1.175 pounds. And there's your weight. Let's take a look at the bottom. I know a lot of reviewers hardly ever do this, and sometimes I find myself wanting to see the bottom. So it looks like we have, front pilot uses power pickups for those smaller wheels. That's interesting. And I wanted to see, yeah, okay, so, and that's why, because these two front drivers have traction tires. So that would only leave these two for picking up power. So they went ahead and wired the front pilot for sound, basically. Here's your on-off switch for your smoke. There's your multiple pin connector for your decoder to the locomotive. Both trucks on the tender pick up power. Is it focusing on that? I think so. Back off a little bit. We have the scoop here for scooping water out of a trough. I think that's an East Coast thing. I don't know if the West Coast ever did that. I could be wrong. If you know, please post in the comments. There's the screw that holds the front coupler on if you wanted to change that out to, I didn't even look in the box, but it probably has a blank to put in there if you don't want to run a front coupler. Anyway, that's the bottom. Let's get her on the layout. Let's check the coupler height real quick before we take off here. What do we got? That looks pretty good. Oops. And the front. Not bad. Good to go. How's this Bowser? Hey, one couple. Okay, did I happen to knock it off the track here? No? Okay, let's see if we can get it fired up. Okay, we got 3002 dialed in here. Let's see what happens with an F9. Looks like a startup was initiated. Put the headlight on. The air conditioning's running, so it's gonna blow the smoke all over the place. So our unrealistic looking smoke is gonna look even more unrealistic. Okay, we're on speed steps 128. Let's get rolling here. be something about the volume. She's a little loud. If you're listening on something with a subwoofer, you can hear the rolling thunder kicking in. Oh, and there's a thunderstorm brewing. I'm gonna shut the air conditioner off so you can see some smoke maybe. Oh yeah, there's smoke. It's a good looking little locomotive. Gonna have to dig out the daylight cars and lash them up, see how it works. Yeah. Like the daylight colors. Didn't have any passenger cars out, but hey, we can have it do a coal load. With coal cars and hoppers that are not from the specific era, mind you. I like the Paragon, the way it, the Paragon 4 does that shift change kind of in the cadence. I don't remember that happening with Paragon 3. Trying to speed up a little since that's what she's made for. High-speed coal. Up to 2% with these cars, no problem.
Okay, let's see what we have here for pull power. .5, 4.6, 7, 4.8. That's pretty good.
Okay, well that concludes my testing of this BLI Atlantic in SP colors, fantasy scheme. Seems to be a great runner. Smoke unit's good. We pulled like a 4.8 on the ounces. That's what, each ounce is 10 to 12 cars, I believe. So shouldn't have a problem pulling 8 or 9, maybe more passenger cars. The locomotive ran flawless, not one hiccup. Smoke unit worked perfect. I used basically a hypodermic needle to get down in there and put the smoke fluid where it belongs, in the reservoir and not all over the wick. Of course, you want to do that with the power off. No smoke, you know, boiling underneath the boiler like I've seen some people have. When they drop a drop in here, it basically cavitates and the smoke comes out the fan. But you know, that's another story. I run NCE. I have variable voltage power supplies for my NCE. I have the track power set right at 15 volts, about 14.8. It runs through a ramp meter, and then 2 main circuit breakers for north and south. But yeah, I've never really had any problems with any BLI. I have one BLI out of about 40 locomotives that had a bad Paragon 3 decoder, and that was my big boy, and that was 2 or 3 years ago. And when Soundtrax came out with the big steam decoder, I swapped it out. I removed the smoke unit and installed the big steam decoder from Soundtrax, and it's ran flawless ever since. I mean, yeah, I could have sent it back to BLI for a free decoder, but I wanted better sound. Well, better or newer sound. Sounds from the actual big boy, you know. Can't beat that. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, that really helps. We're trying to get to 1,000. Also on the 1,000th subscriber, I'm probably gonna give away a DC locomotive, probably IHC. It's brand new in the box. If the person who subscribes at 1,000 is a train enthusiast anyway. If you're a motorbike enthusiast, I don't have a motorbike to give away, sorry. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and catch you next time.